Hello and welcome to Choose CHQ Live CHQ. I'm Jason Sample with the Chautauqua County Industrial Development Agency and the Chautauqua County Partnership for Economic Growth. This is a monthly series that we do focusing on economic development and business development in Chautauqua County, focusing on the businesses, the initiatives, and the various individuals who help keep our economy moving forward as we progress through this year and in future years as well. This month we are going to be focusing on workforce readiness and development. This is one of the key pillars of economic development in Chautauqua County. We have 5 pillars that we focus on through the Chautauqua County Partnership for Economic Growth, and workforce readiness is one of those key pillars that is essential to helping to keep businesses going and moving forward in our county. So with that being said, we have 3 guests joining us today to talk about workforce readiness in Chautauqua County. We have joining us Grant Umberger, who is the Director of Workforce Development at Jamestown Community College. We also have Todd Tranum, the Executive Director of the Manufacturers Association of the Southern Tier and President CEO of Dream It, Do It, Western New York. And finally, we have Katie Geis, who is the Executive Director of Chautauqua Works. Gang, thanks for coming in and talking with us today.
Thank you. Thank you. Great to be here.
Yeah, well, we could probably spend a series of programs on workforce readiness and development, and we'll try to do that in future months, but maybe this is a good starter conversation just to give people an overview of what your organizations and agencies work on and how it helps to keep things moving forward and familiarizing our audience with that. So with all that out of the way, Katie, let's start with you. Can you provide some details about Chautauqua Works for those who may not know, and also how that ties into workforce readiness and development?
Sure. Well, Chautauqua Works is all about workforce readiness and development. And I wanted to start with our mission. So our official mission is to pull all resources in the community into a systematic approach to help employers, both current and future, become competitive in a global economy, and also help individuals attain life skills necessary for employment and family-sustaining jobs. That's a very long way of saying we basically help people find jobs and help businesses fill their open positions. And there's a myriad of ways to do that on the job seeker side. A person comes in, they are telling us that they're here, they want to try to get to here, and then our staff works with them to figure out what are the steps to help them get to where they're trying to get to career-wise. Businesses, we can help them with everything from how to implement and plan a really effective job posting for hiring needs that they have. We can do recruitments that are specialized specifically for them. We host job fairs in our offices on a monthly basis that they can participate in, and then we also can do some more specialized programs like what's called an on-the-job training, which would help with training for a new hire.
Got it. Well, we'll talk more about Chautauqua Works and how it works in concert with the other 2 representatives we have here a little bit later on, but let's move along and talk with Todd. Todd, what is Dream It, Do It, Western New York, and how does it involve workforce readiness in the county?
Yeah, so Dream It, Do It was founded by a group of manufacturers. Basically came out of our Manufacturers Association, recognizing we needed to do more to reach into our schools, collaborate with our schools, collaborate with teachers, and especially get connected with students. So we're really that part of workforce development that's focused on energizing middle school, high school kids and helping them understand the career pathways that lead to manufacturing careers in our region. Part of what we do as well is we have a electronic badging and certification program that we've built with input from industry, educators, and students to help certify students to one of 4 belt certification levels that we've developed. And in addition to what we do is it's really about those strong collaborations with the schools, helping educators, administrators also understand the importance of manufacturing to our economy, the careers that are available, so they're aware, so they can kind of take it back and consider within their curriculum how they can address the needs of employers, and raising the overall level within the community in terms of among parents, awareness about manufacturing and awareness about career opportunities in manufacturing that might be available for their children.
All right, we'll talk more about Dream It, Do It in just a moment, but finally, for Grant, let's talk a little bit about your role at JCC. Can you explain why the college is focusing on workforce development and readiness beyond what people typically expect from a college in the traditional sense of 4-year degree and going on to an occupation in that sense?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So, obviously the college focuses on degree and career pathways, it's always going to be the central mission of our college. However, workforce development, we're kind of the community and community college. And what I mean by that is in lieu of those traditional certificate and degree programs, we're able to offer short-term training programs. That could be anywhere from a few hours to 13 weeks. We offer training for incumbent workers, and we offer some pathways and credentials to upskill individuals as well.
Got it. So putting the ready in readiness and development and workforce development, all three of you are doing that. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to take a deeper dive into what you all are doing, how you're working together, and again, moving the needle in the right direction for Chautauqua County when it comes to workforce readiness and development. So please stick around. We have more to come in just a moment right here on Choose CHQ Live CHQ. All right, and welcome back to Choose CHQ Live CHQ. Again, I'm Jason Sample, and we're talking workforce readiness and workforce development on today's program. We have Grant Umberger, who is with us from Jamestown Community College, along with Katie Geis, who is with us from Chautauqua Works, and Todd Tranum from Dream It, Do It, talking again about workforce readiness. And gang, thanks again for taking time out to talk with us today. And maybe a next question that I have here, Grant, we'll start with you, is what do you see as the biggest challenge, or maybe even an opportunity, when it comes to creating ready and available workforce for our employers here in Chautauqua County?
Sure. Well, I see a challenge and an opportunity at the same time. And what I mean by that is, we're a rural community and we face some demographic shifts. So we have aging workforce, we have retirements, but we don't have maybe the young people or those people to fill those positions. And that's kind of a challenge. The opportunity in that is that we do have adults wanting to enter the workforce here. We have underemployed individuals here. We have high school students that are coming out that maybe they don't know exactly what their pathway is, but they want to explore different career opportunities. That's kind of where we come in at. And I think it's more of an alignment of an awareness of what jobs are actually here, what are their wages, how can we access services for employment services such as Chautauqua Works or JCC. How do we get connected with those employers? I think those are some of the challenges, yet those are some of the opportunities that we have.
Got it. Katie, the same question to you. What are some of the biggest challenges or opportunities when it comes to creating a ready workforce in the county from your point of view at Chautauqua Works?
Sure. So I don't think it's any secret that workforce is forefront on the minds of any business in any sector that you might talk to. There are jobs available, good jobs available. So if somebody really is truly ready, willing, and able to work, they can find a job, or they already have a job. So it's really doing, the challenge and the opportunity is to really do a better job, a more effective job of truly meeting people where they are, determining what are the barriers that are preventing someone from obtaining employment. And maybe it is they're missing that certification that makes them qualified for a specific job that they're interested in. And then that's where a partnership with one of the training providers such as Jamestown Community College might come in. But also, another piece that we hear consistently from businesses is that all they really need is for someone to show up on time and do the job to the best of their ability, and they can train them to do the work in the manner that they need them to, but they need them to be there. And so those basic work readiness skills, what we've been able to do through some funding that we've received from a state agency called the Office of Temporary Disability Assistance, is run some youth employment programs. One is a summer youth employment program, and the other one runs year-round. And that allows us to do a paid work experience at area businesses for young people. So it's really helping a young person truly learn those basic work readiness skills on the job with a real employer, a real supervisor. And we have staff that are called retention specialists that help them work through any issues that they're having and really work alongside with the supervisor on the work site at the business to really develop those skills. And that's another way that we can partner with Dream It, Do It, is when there's a young person who's interested in a manufacturing career who needs to to gain some of those real world work experience skills, they can enroll in one of our programs.
Got it.
And I bet you're going right on to Todd.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I can give you the segue.
Anything additional to add besides what Katie and Grant already said?
Well, they hit on some of the key points. I'd point to two things from a manufacturing perspective that are challenges and within opportunities. One is the perception of manufacturing. We got to get past the perception that manufacturing is dirty, dark, and dangerous. It's not what it was when my grandpa was down a crescent tool hammering out crescent wrenches. It's changed. So there's that piece. The second piece is, we're working on overcoming really decades of having an educational system that wasn't always focused on helping students get aligned with the career opportunities that exist in our economy. I think that's changing. We're excited about New York Inspires through the changes at Department of Ed in the state in terms of the portrait of a student, trying to get kids into a position where there's more time within school to do career exploration. And I think we've got some great resources here to help these kids get on training tracks, whether it's the programming at MTI, some of the programming that has been put together up at Chautauqua Lake Central School, the P-TECH program in Dunkirk. We're going to need to do more of that technical type of training throughout our region to meet the demands that our manufacturers have.
You focus a lot on manufacturing. That brings me to my next question. Is that really a broad sector, or are there specific areas within manufacturing that really has a need for workers more so than another manufacturing company here in the county already?
Yeah. There's need across the board in all aspects of manufacturing, I would say, but probably the most concentrated need, if you were to look at specific job categories, and Katie can help me with this too if I miss anything, but there's a severe shortage of machinists. There's a severe shortage of industrial maintenance technologists. We're still struggling to find welders. We're still having issues trying to find engineers, mechanical engineers, electrical engineers. But even some of the basic entry-level positions in manufacturing are very difficult to fill at this time.
I had a conversation with one of the recruiters for Cummins, who's based in Milwaukee, but recruits for Chautauqua County, and he had indicated that even electricians for the Cummins plant itself, it's a very challenging to identify people, not only in Chautauqua County who are capable of doing that work, but anywhere around the country who would want to come to Chautauqua County, and that's where I did my pitch for Live CHQ, obviously, but definitely I think your sentiments are being echoed by those who are right there on the ground level trying to get workers for their specific business. And I'm sure you hear that a lot too, Grant, from what you do at JCC, trying to prepare students at JCC to get aligned with the needs here in the county.
Correct.
So is there any specific sector or industry that you hear a lot of the need existing more than others?
Well, we've been living in the advanced manufacturing world for a few years, just with we were able to have a lot of conversations during the COVID and post-COVID era with employers. We're able to receive funding to really jump into some of these workforce manufacturing programs. So the positions that Todd mentioned, industrial maintenance technician, we have welding, we also have CNC and machining that we're doing, and then we're also doing some very specialized offshoots of some of these programs, such as like a robotics technician, PLC, programmable logic controller technician, lathe and mill specialist. So we're creating these hands-on labs. We have a lot of equipment, investment in equipment there. We also have collaboration with our academic side, so we're not working in a vacuum. Individuals that can come in if they want to take a short-term training program and go out into the working world, they can do that, or they can, we have articulation agreements with our academic program so the students receive some credits that they earn from our program to continue on for a certificate or a degree program. In addition to advanced I think we could say all sectors pretty much need. The other thing too is the skilled trades and construction sectors. So we're starting to get into that. We have a partnership with the Builders Exchange of Southern Tier, also Jamestown Public Schools. We started a construction fundamentals program. We're going to enhance that. We're going to add some electrical, we're going to add some plumbing to that in the very near future. So it's a good partnership that we're working together. So the advanced manufacturing and the skilled trades and construction part of it. But again, I think you could say all sectors.
Right, and that's, Katie, you can say all sectors because Chautauqua Works does work within all sectors, and you probably do see a persistent need no matter who you're talking to, whether it be healthcare, education, or manufacturing, right?
Yes, correct. And I would say probably, this won't be surprising, our two biggest are probably manufacturing and healthcare. Those are probably our two biggest, but transportation is not far behind. So your CDL drivers, so your heavy tractor trailer drivers, even CDLBs, which is just a step lower than a CDLA. They can't do quite as much. They can't drive the same big rigs, but they can still drive some larger vehicles. Actually, a lot of our municipalities have had a need for their employees to obtain that CDLB license to be able to do all the work, taking care of the roadways, et cetera. But yeah, so I do want to say one more thing on manufacturing. The Western New York Manufacturing and Tech Coalition was formed. I believe all three of us are members of that. And because there was such a need in both the manufacturing and the tech sectors. And that initiative has led to some additional funding coming into the area to, again, increase the training availability for our job seekers as well as our businesses to be able to have a more ready workforce.
All right. Well, we got one more segment to go here, but we have to take another break, and then we'll continue the conversation about workforce readiness in Chautauqua County. We're talking, of course, with representatives from JCC, Dream It, Do It, as well as Chautauqua Works, and we have more to come in just a moment right here on Choose CHQ, Live CHQ. And welcome back to Choose CHQ, Live CHQ. We're talking workforce readiness and workforce development here in Chautauqua County on today's program. And wrapping up the conversation, we have a few more questions to go for our guests. Katie Geis, let's start with you on this question. We've talked about the programs that are already in place that you all are involved with. Are there any other programs that you see a definitive need for here in Chautauqua County that you would like to see developed in the next year or two to help keep things moving in the right direction?
Yes, so the first thing that I would say is our major funder is actually federal funding. It's called the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. And reauthorizing the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act at the federal level is critically important to ensure that all of our programming is able to continue. We've seen declines in our funding every year for probably the last decade. Which is a real challenge because that's less money in the pockets of our businesses to help them train a new hire, but it's also less money being spent on training and providing those critical skills for that job seeker. So ways that people can get involved with that is to write to our local elected officials at the federal level to make sure that they know that this is important to our community. We are very strategic in the use of those dollars. Every penny that is spent is accounted for, and it is always focused on what we call demand occupations. And demand occupations are determined on statistical models, statistical information, as well as what we're hearing on the ground, on the front lines from our businesses. So if that funding is it either continues at the same rate of amount or is increased, that would allow us to do some of what I feel are our best programs, which is our on-the-job training fundings, which again, that's money that goes directly, it's a wage reimbursement to our employers directly for that training period for that new hire, as well as a great example is we just helped fund 19 individuals who are finishing up their licensed practical nursing degree, and they might not have been able to finish without our assistance. And that's 19 more, credentialed, licensed nurses going out into the field, which is critically needed in healthcare. So it's really helping us maintain the quality assistance and services, and being able to have the staff who are helping those individuals that I talked about earlier who really have barriers to employment, help determine what those barriers are, but then also help find solutions so that somebody can actually be successful on that job.
Got it. Todd, any additional programming you'd like to see?
So building off of Katie's points on the policy side, we're really seeing a need, and I hear it consistently from manufacturers, for more on-the-job training funds. A lot of the funding that ends up coming through the system is restricted, not enough flexibility at the local level, frankly not enough resources to do what we need to do. If we're going to build the workforce of the future here in Western New York, it's going to have to be done beyond just our community colleges and our high schools getting it done. Our employers are going to need to be empowered to do what some employers might call the last mile of training, right? Mm-hmm. We have some good preparatory programs, but there's always more training that needs to be done once particularly newer employees are coming in the door. So that's one thing. And the other thing I would add to that is the money is there. And just quick stats. So we've got over 500 workforce development programs in New York State within 22 governmental agencies. We can do better. And we got to start thinking more about the end user and getting that money into our local communities, into our local workforce investment boards with some flexibility, so we can do what we need to do here at the local level to get people trained, get people into the workforce, and strengthen our economy.
If I'm hearing it right, the programming is in place, the resources are what is needed to keep that programming going and to help expand it and broaden it even more so. Grant, anything final to add?
I would just echo both of their sentiments about that. Is, yeah, we have the ability to scale up, but it's the funding, and we're starting with a zero funding source to create and build these programs and to sustain them. So more funding from the state and federal level would be fantastic.
Right on. We're just about out of time already here. So like I said, this goes really quickly. I want to thank you all for coming in here. But let's wrap things up with the best way for employers or even residents to learn more about your program and to do outreach and have you assist them with what they're trying to do. Grant, what's the best way somebody can learn about what you're doing at JCC?
The best way is SUNY JCC, SUNY JCC.edu. Right at the top, that says Workforce Development. You can click on that. You can also call 716-338-1005 to get connected with us. And in the website, there's an inquiry form and there's also email. So whatever your preference is to get in touch with us.
Got it. Katie?
Ours is going to be very similar. So the website's probably the best way, and that's just chautauquaworks.com. We also have a Facebook page, so follow us on Facebook. Lots of great information there. And finally, we have 2 locations. One is located in the city of Jamestown at 4 East 3rd Street, and the other in the city of Dunkirk at 407 Central Avenue. And we're open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30. So stop in and ask for assistance with career readiness.
Todd, you got schools working with you already, but I'm sure that some may not be familiar enough with the Dream It Do It. How do they get a hold of you?
Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, our website, didiwny.com. That's didiwny.com. Or pick up the phone and call Todd at 716-483-1833.
Todd Tranum, Katie Geis, and Grant Umberger, thanks for talking with us today on Choose CHQ Live CHQ. That does it for today's program. We'll be back next month with more conversations about economic development and business growth in Chautauqua County. Until then, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next month.